Today, we're diving deep into some absolutely fascinating science. And I want to start by challenging you right out of the gate. How deep does your scientific knowledge of your own body really go before you get, completely lost in the complexity? Today, we're going to find out. So, what really happens when a muscle grows? It's the ultimate question, right? To give you a truly satisfying answer, we're going to tackle this by progressing through escalating levels of scientific complexity. Think of this explainer kind of like leveling up in a video game. We'll start at the tutorial, and by the very end, we'll be facing off against the final boss of cellular biology. Here's our journey today. We've got 6 chapters to get through. 1. The muscle building basics. 2. Progressive overload and protein. 3. Optimizing your gym variables. 4. The true driver of growth. 5. Inside the muscle cell. And finally, 6. The future of muscle. Let's get to it. Level 1, Chapter 1, the muscle building basics. At its absolute core, before we even peek through a microscope, building muscle requires 2 fundamental things. First, lifting heavy weights to provide a physical stimulus. And second, eating protein to give your body the literal building blocks it needs to actually change. Ultimately, muscle growth is entirely based on an adaptive response. Let me read that word for word. An adaptive response is a physical adaptation to a repeated stressor. Think of it like learning to play the guitar, right? At first, those strings really hurt your fingers, but over time, your fingertips start to form thick, hard calluses as an adaptive response to pressing against the strings. Your body essentially says, hey, if we're gonna keep doing this, I better build thicker skin to make it easier. When you lift weights, your muscles are doing the exact same thing. All right, let's level up to Chapter 2, Progressive Overload and Protein. Because here's the catch. If you just lift the exact same weight for the exact same number of reps forever, your body fully adapts. Soon enough, that weight simply won't be challenging enough to signal the muscle to keep growing. To overcome that plateau, you need progressive overload. Word for word, this is the gradual increase of stress on the muscles during weight training over time. To force your body to keep growing, you literally must systematically challenge it week after week. Now, you can do this by adding a little more weight to the bar, maybe increasing the number of reps you do with the same weight, adding an extra set, or even just slowing down and improving your form. You just have to keep that stress moving upward. So what about those protein building blocks? Well, the latest research gives us this golden ratio, 1.6 to 2.2. That represents 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day to really maximize muscle gain. But here's a brilliant pro tip. If you carry a higher body fat percentage, the per kilogram math gets a little wonky. Like if you weigh 300 pounds, you absolutely do not need 300 grams of protein. So for folks with higher body fat, aim for roughly 1 gram of protein per centimeter of your height. It works completely independently of body fat and gets you right in that optimal ballpark. Moving on up to Chapter 3, Optimizing Your Gym Variables. So we know we need to lift heavier over time and eat the right amount of protein. But exactly how hard should we push on any given day? What specific exercises should we choose? And how many reps actually matter? To dial this in, scientists look at what they call acute training variables. First up is effort. To grow, you have to push close to muscular failure. That means you should be leaving only about 2 to 3 reps in the tank on a given set. You really have to push it. Next up is intensity, which technically just means how heavy the weight is. Now, you've probably heard that 6 to 12 reps is the magic muscle building zone. Well, scientifically speaking, that's a total myth. Research shows you can build muscle with as low as 3 reps or as high as 30 reps, as long as the effort is there. The 6 to 12 range is honestly just practically useful to avoid beating up your joints. And finally, frequency. The general consensus here is that you should aim to hit each muscle group at least twice a week. And that brings us to volume, highlighted by the numbers 10 to 20. This right here is your sweet spot for weekly volume. Doing 10 to 20 hard sets per body part per week maximizes your growth. It operates on this inverted U trend. Do too little and you leave gains on the table, but if you do more than 20 sets, you cross over the top of that U and slide right into counterproductive overtraining where your body simply cannot recover. Remember, more is not always better. Okay, we are officially entering Level 4, Chapter 4, the true driver of growth. Back in 2010, a researcher named Dr. Brad Schoenfeld published this landmark paper introducing a 3-factor model of muscle hypertrophy. We're going to use this model today to uncover what physically triggers a muscle to expand in the very first place. The undisputed king of those 3 factors is mechanical tension. Let me read the exact definition here. Mechanical tension is the type of force that tries to stretch a muscle fiber. I want you to visualize a massive, heavy tug of war. As each side pulls hard on the rope, this intense tension is generated right inside that rope. In your muscles, this tension is created passively when the muscle is stretched under a heavy load and actively when the muscle forcefully contracts. But hey, we need to bust some major myths right now. For decades, a lot of people believed that muscle damage or metabolic stress were the true drivers of growth. But under scientific scrutiny, those theories kind of fall apart. Think about muscle damage for a second. Running a marathon causes a massive amount of muscle damage, but marathon runners aren't exactly walking around with massive legs, right? Too much damage just forces your body to repair tissue rather than build new tissue. And metabolic stress? That burning pump you feel? Well, it feels absolutely fantastic, but research shows shorter rest periods cause way more metabolic stress, yet lead to significantly less muscle growth. So mechanical tension is the undisputed primary driver here. If you maximize tension, you maximize growth. All right, let's step it up to level 5. Chapter 5, Inside the Muscle Cell. This is where we transition out of the gym and step right into the biology lab. We know tension is the trigger, but how on earth does physical tension transform into a biochemical signal that actually commands a muscle to grow? Think of it like a falling chain of dominoes. First, I want to introduce you to mTOR. Reading this out word for word, mTOR is a major regulator of cellular growth that receives signals from mechanosensors. Think of mTOR as this beast mode molecule inside your body. When you lift heavy weights, physical mechanosensors in your muscles, these are structures with wild names like the sarcolemma, tidin, or filamen, they physically feel that tug-of-war tension. And when they feel it, they send a signal directly to this molecule, mTOR, essentially yelling, hey, it's time to grow. Let's watch that cellular domino effect in action. Step 1, mechanosensors feel the physical tension from your lifting. Step 2, they knock over the next domino, activating mTOR. Step 3, mTOR signals your cell's nucleus to create mRNA blueprints. These are literal architectural blueprints for building new muscle. And finally, step 4, those blueprints travel to your ribosomes. You can think of ribosomes as tiny little protein-building factories. They assemble amino acids based on those exact blueprints in a process called translation. And my friends, that translation step, that's exactly what scientists mean when they talk about muscle protein synthesis. But remember back in level 1, we established that we need dietary building blocks for those ribosome factories to actually do their job. Enter leucine. Word for word, leucine is an essential amino acid that complements weightlifting by activating mTOR. You see, the physical weightlifting triggers a massive, long-lasting mTOR signal, while a diet containing about 3 grams of leucine per meal triggers a shorter complementary activation. You need the heavy lifting to provide the primary signal and the leucine to provide both an extra biological spark and the raw materials for the factory. Wow, we've officially made it to level 6, the final boss. Chapter 6, the future of muscle. Stepping back from all those microscopic details for a second, you might be wondering, why does this incredibly dense, complex biological research actually matter for us in the long run? While understanding these domino chains opens up some heavily debated, highly speculative frontiers in science. Researchers are currently exploring concepts like sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's the growth of non-contractile tissue like glycogen and organelles inside the muscle. They're also investigating myonuclear addition, which is this wild idea that surrounding satellite cells can actually donate their nuclei to a muscle cell, basically giving it more command centers to crank out even more muscle protein. The science is still evolving, and honestly, decoding it is just incredibly exciting. Which leaves us with this final, super provocative thought. Could an exercise pill replace the gym entirely someday? By fully decoding these complex cellular pathways, researchers aren't just looking to help bodybuilders get bigger arms. They're hoping to treat terrible diseases like muscular dystrophy or sarcopenia. And who knows, maybe 50 years down the road, they could develop an exercise pill that chemically triggers mTOR and replicates the exact cellular effects of mechanical tension without you having to lift a single weight. No way, right? Well, we certainly aren't there yet, but thanks to the scientific method, we are getting closer every single day.
Thanks for watching. Visit our channel for more fitness knowledge. See you in the next video.